Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 1985 Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser. Up front is a 5.0 liter V8, down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now I'm super excited to be driving this 85 Custom Cruiser for two reasons. First of all, I love older GMs, and this is quite the peach of one, as well as I just like bringing you guys older vehicles that have been forgotten by history, and I think the Custom Cruiser is one of those. So we get to both enjoy one today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle to be reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 5-liter under the hood, known as the 307 cubic inch 5-liter, designed and manufactured by Oldsmobile themselves. This engine was for Oldsmobile vehicles, which they really stopped doing towards the end of their life. They didn't really have many exclusive engines. This 5-liter makes about 140, 150 horsepower, depending on who you ask, and was absolutely strangled in the 1970s by the emission standards. So don't expect any kind of performance out of an engine like this. It's floaty, it's boaty, and that's what I'm here for. In 1985, they actually did add a new swirl port cylinder head to this engine, giving it better torque and better drivability, but the horsepower number didn't go up at all. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic. It is interesting though that it got a 4-speed, because in my mind, GM in the 80s was all about the 3-speed when it came to the J-bodies and other vehicles that I've driven. So a 4-speed just sounds weird to say. Last but not least, of course, the Custom Cruiser is rear-wheel drive. So how does it feel to actually drive the Custom Cruiser? It floats. It just goes over bumps like nothing. And I really enjoy the driving experience. It's an older, more laid back, more casual driving experience. Instead of saying, yes, we're going to the store, the Custom Cruiser says, yeah, all right, we'll get to the store at some point, it'll be fine. And I like that laid back feel. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have my rectangular speedometer, very characteristic of the 70s, as well as my gear and fuel. That's it. This is a pretty base model Custom Cruiser, and you'll see that throughout a lot of parts of this video. Speaking of which, the steering wheel has really low slung grips, and you'll notice that it is a junkyard steering wheel. This car sat in a field for many years and has only recently been resurrected back onto the road, so you'll see a lot of parts in here that might reflect that. Off to the left, I do have a climate control vent, as well as my headlight switches and brake release down by my left shin. Moving out of the door, manual mirrors, a little Custom Cruiser badge with a grab handle, and then my manual windows. Moving into the center, we have more climate control vents, as well as panels that look like climate control vents, but they're not. And we do have my climate controls off to the left. This does have factory AC, however, it is not hooked up on this warm summer day, and it's very simple controls. Off to the right, I do have an Oldsmobile 88 badge, which is interesting because this isn't labeled really anywhere else that it is an 88 besides this strange badge. Down below, we do have the radio. I do have AM and FM, and it's good to see the old Delco radios. And then off to the right, I have my rear defog, rear window up and down, and my lighter. So this does have a rear opening window, which is really nice to see and such a cool feature. Then we do have a pull-out ashtray, of course, because this is a product of the 1970s and 80s. Then we have an open center console. We do have aftermarket cup holders, so it fails right off the bat because it doesn't have cup holders, but we'll test them, and even through, these also fail the big friggin' bottle test. So overall, all in all, the Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser from 85 fails the big friggin' bottle test. Then we got to move up to the bench seat. Yes, this does have a bench seat, and it is very comfortable and exactly what I expect out of a vehicle of this age. It's comfy, it's cozy. I kind of want to curl up with a good book and just enjoy the comfort of these seats. However, I have a job to do, and that's this review. So I won't be doing that. However, we do have back seats, so let's hop back there and give you some thoughts. All right, so we're in the back of the 85 Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser, and of course the seats back here are also just as comfy as the seats up front. I do have ashtrays and manual windows and manual locks in the back here. You can always tell that a car has manual locks because the locking mechanism will be up towards the front of the door, so you could reach it from the front seat. If it has power locks, odds are it's going to be towards the back of the door. Besides that, it's just really cool being back here. I can't imagine how many young families in the 80s grew up back here looking out these windows. I always get that sort of sense of nostalgia when driving vehicles like this. So definitely very, very cool to see. Let's hop out though. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space because there's definitely some interesting bits back there. All right, so we're on the back of the Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser, and there's two ways to open this tailgate. Well, first of all, this rear glass does go down, which I think is a really cool feature, but we do have a handle right here. We can open it up like a regular door, which then you can enter the cargo space, or keep it closed, bring the window down, grab the little handle in here, and now you have a truck tailgate, all within the same door, which is some really trick engineering from GM of the 70s. Come down here, and we do have some storage. Now, this car was originally outfitted with a third rear-facing row seat. However, a previous owner has taken it out. This is now 2 for 2 in the last month that I've driven wagons from GM that had rear-facing seats, but removed from a previous owner. I don't know why people would take that feature out. I think it's so bloody cool. Overall, tons of space in the back of the Custom Cruiser, and that's what I like to see from cars of this era. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and it is unapologetically brown. It doesn't have the vinyl wood sidings that a lot of the Custom Cruisers got, but that was a little bit nicer of a feature. And again, this was the base model, and so you didn't get your wooden sides, which would have been iconic, but I understand the reasoning. I like how boxy it is, but it's so 70s. And so let's get into that. Let's get into my final thoughts. What do I think driving this 85 Custom Cruiser? Well, it's so old, which I love. It's a good thing. I love the floatiness of it. I love the comfort of it. I love the style of it. I love how middle America, you know, a father of 3 might purchase this once he gets upgraded from salesman to manager. This has a very homegrown, Midwest, natural feel to it. I can't help but drive these old GMs and just think about Michigan, their home turf. And so I love the ambiance, I love the vibe, as the kids say, and I really enjoy, you know, sort of setting my clocks backwards and remembering a more simple time, a time when this car was something to strive for and something that an owner might pick up for their family. But this is also a testament to GM's stubbornness. This car debuted in 1977 and ran all the way until 1990. This car existed in 3 separate decades. Relatively unchanged. They offered the 4-speed starting in 1980. They offered the 350 later on, but all in all, this is very, very 70s, and they offered it up until 1990, of which then they went to the 3rd-gen Custom Cruiser, but that only lasted 2 years, and I haven't filmed that generation before. You're seeing a Buick Roadmaster of a similar vintage on screen now. And so GM was very stuck in their ways. The 1980s was a fantastic decade for automobile technology. You look at late 70s cars, then you look at early 90s cars, and they look worlds apart. They might as well have flown in on a spaceship. But not this, baby. This and the Buick Century wagon that I recently filmed shared the same ideas and same mantra. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and then wait 5 more years still without fixing it. But that's okay. You know what? Maybe they got the recipe so right that they didn't have to change anything. Maybe this is such a perfect automobile that they didn't have to answer to anyone. They didn't have to talk to a design group or PR group. It was just good, and they kept making it. Now, the Custom Cruiser sales fell almost every single year since its introduction, and by the time it got to the late 80s, they were selling 10, 15,000 a year, where it used to be 40, 50, 60,000 a year in the 70s. So a refresh did eventually come, but it might have been a little too late. That refresh sold pretty terribly, but for today, I'm happy to just be in this custom cruiser, to be riding around on a sunny day in an Oldsmobile. Life ain't so bad at this current moment. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to William for letting me take out his Oldsmobile custom cruiser. I was so excited to get back in the seat of an older GM product. William has been an absolute asset to the channel. I've reviewed a bunch of his vehicles, and this is just his latest addition to his fleet. And I am so excited and, quite frankly, rather jealous that he gets to have this. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.